guys, it's Cece, and today I am here to do a fun, kind of different recommendations video for you. So I've been on Twitter and Tumblr asking for some random words from all of you. I assured you it all makes sense in time. Here it is. Now I'm explaining the concept of the video to you. Basically, I took all of your suggestions for keywords, buzzwords, topics, and I put them all in this big bowl. The big plan, really, is just to draw 2 random cards out and try to recommend a book to you based on those 2 words. This is both a recommendations video and I think a little bit a challenge to myself to see how much I can make my brain work, how many books I can remember. If I don't have a book that I've personally read that fits those 2 words, I'm also going to try to think of a book that I haven't read but that I've heard of that maybe you would be interested in. Just before we get into the content of this video, I want to let you know something cool about PageHabit. So PageHabit is a monthly subscription box that I open here on my channel. You've probably seen my unboxings. If not, go check them out. They are a monthly book subscription service and they allow you to pick your genre so you kind of have an idea of what kind of book you're going to be receiving. What's super cool about PageHabit this month is that they have let all of their reps know every single book that is going to be coming in every single box. So yes, I hold the answers to what books PageHabit will be sending out. So to get all of you guys hyped for PageHabit, I thought I would give you just a little mini hint about what book is going to be coming in the YA box, which is the book I'm going to be receiving. And I thought to do that, I would kind of use the theme of this video. I'm just going to give you 2 keywords. So the book that is going to be coming in the YA PageHabit book is going to be historical, and there's going to be bisexuality. If you are interested in this book, be sure to check out PageHabit down in the description below. My affiliate link is there, and if you use my promo code at checkout, it will give you free shipping or $5 off of shipping on an international order. So I just wanted to let you know about that because I think it's pretty cool. Be sure to check out the other themes, maybe find the other reps and see what hints they're giving out. But that's mine. I am super excited about this book and I cannot wait to receive it. So check out PageHabit. And now with that out of the way, let's get into the challenge of this video. I truly have no idea how this is gonna go, so wish me luck from the other side of your laptop. We got the words ready. Let's pick out the first one, which is forest, okay? And the next one, which is going to be pirates. So, forest and pirates. What can I recommend based on that? Actually, oh man, this is setting a precedent that I came up with a couple very, very quickly. First of all, I have to recommend Peter Darling by Austen Chant, which is a retelling of Peter Pan with a trans Peter main character. It also has a male-male romance between Peter and Captain Hook. It's super spooky, kind of creepy. It gets into the darker aspects of Neverland. They are always running through the trees, and there are a lot of pirates, clearly, since Captain Hook is one half of the male-male romance. So definitely check out Peter Darling. We're 1 for 1. Let's grab our next words. First word is time travel, and the second word is going to be mind reading. Ooh, that is 2 big things. Okay. So the first thing that comes to mind when I see both of these, time travel and mind reading, it doesn't necessarily have time travel, but there's an element of time involved. That is the Midnighters trilogy by Scott Westerfeld. Midnighters is about a group of people, teenagers, who all live in the same town, and there's this particular time of night, midnight, it's called the Midnighters, when they are the only people kind of awake and aware of what's going on. And at that time, they also have superpowers. One of them has superpowers that's present during the day. She is a mind reader. But I remember it being a pretty good trilogy. What books have I even read that feature time travel? I don't know if Heidi Heilig's series features mind reading, but it definitely features time travel. I know that for sure. There's also possibly that series by Alexandra Bracken. I think it's The Passenger duology, maybe? Again, I know that one has time travel, but I'm less sure on the mind reading. Does Marie Lu's book with superpowered kids feature both of this? These are my suggestions. This is me spitballing. I don't know if I've really nailed this one, but maybe one of those fits. Okay, there's round 2. You really determine if I succeeded at that one. Round 3, we have got the words lesbian, good word, and superhero. Oh, easy. Got this one. Okay. If you want a lesbian superhero, go with Dreadnought by April Daniels. Dani, the main character, is a trans girl, and she's also a lesbian, both of which are pretty big parts of her identity. The second book has a female-female romance, and this is a really intense series that deals a lot with transphobia. If you can't handle reading about characters that deal with transphobia, it can be pretty brutal. Also, Danny has some abusive parents. So those are trigger warnings for both of those things. But it gets into like the real dark kind of nitty-gritty moral aspects of being a superhero while also embracing kind of the silliness of the superhero genre. It's a fantastic book. Definitely recommend. Lesbian superhero is there and fabulous. I have other books with queer superheroes, but the main characters are not lesbians. So that is what I will reserve my recommendations to for now. I honestly have no idea how many of these I'm gonna do. I didn't fully plan this out, I just had an idea and ran with it. So let's see, we've got Injustice, and we have Murder Mystery. I can tell you what first came into my mind. I don't know how well it applies, but let's go with it. The first thing that popped into my mind was Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. Not a lot of people know that there's a murder mystery aspect to this book, but it's kind of central to the middle plot of the story. Basically, this is a book about kids who have gone through doors to other worlds, and then they end up back in our world, and they don't know how to deal with it because they felt at home in this fantasy world that they found themselves in. So there's a murder mystery aspect of it, but there is also dealing with generalized injustices against them, I would say. I don't know that this gets to the heart of the word injustice, but it definitely applies in some aspects. Plus, this is a really fantastic book with an ace main character and a trans side character that I have to recommend all the time. So maybe this one? Let me think. I think I'm going to also recommend Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. I recommend Agatha Christie across the board. She writes really interesting, good mystery books, and I love them all. And Then There Were None is my favorite. Murder on the Orient Express is my second favorite. So this one's definitely a murder mystery. It is about a murder on a train. It's right there in the title. I'm not going to tell you about how injustice ties into the story, but it definitely does. Definitely present. And, it's a really good mystery to get invested in with a lot of moving pieces. So, I recommend this too. What are we at? Round 5, maybe? Let's see. Round 5. Word 1. Car. Okay. Whew. That's kind of vague. And the second word is multiple POVs. Ooh. Where did I put? Up here. I just barely finished a book called Nevada by Imogen Binney, and this was like a really fantastic book that is not just kind of trans 101 lit. So this is about a trans woman who is living in New York City. She's kind of settled in her life, and then in one day, her girlfriend breaks up with her and she is fired from her job, and she this is a really meandering book. It's very internal. It's mostly just about Maria kind of working through why she doesn't quite feel like she's made her place in life, why she can't seem to relate to people, why she feels that there is this wall between hers and the people around her. So she winds up going on a road trip to try to figure out more of that. It's a weird book. It's definitely a weird book, but while most of the story is in Maria's point of view, there is a character that shows up later on, and that is like a different POV situation, so definitely recommend Nevada. It's a weird book, but it really gets into feminism and identity and identifying as gay while also being trans. Just like intense amounts of queer culture and investigating that and how Maria fits into it. So I definitely recommend this for Car and multiple POVs. Almost Like Being in Love by Steve Kluger is also a good choice. This is a male-male romance that was written like a while ago. When was this published? 2004? This is kind of a mixed media book where you get most of the story through like emails and documents and stuff, and then some of it is just in paragraphs being told. It's basically about Travis and Craig, who were boyfriends in high school, and then 20 years later, one of them wakes up and realizes the reason he's never been fulfilled in life is because he's still in love with this guy. So he goes trekking across the country to try to track down this guy and tell him that he's still in love with him. It's a super cute book, and I love the way that it's told. But it is from both Travis and Craig's point of view in the past and in the present. Well, in the present. The present is like 1998. But this is also a good fit for that prompt, and I don't feel like I recommend this book enough because it's a lot of fun and I really like it. There's also a book coming out later this year called Mariam Sharma Hits the Road by Sheba Karim. I honestly don't know if Mariam Sharma is going to have multiple POVs. It could just be Mariam narrating the story, but I feel like it's possible it's going to have multiple POVs, and it's basically about 3 Muslim teens who end up going on a road trip, partially to help one of their friends get away from their parents who are having a really hard time dealing with something. One of them is queer. It's after Miriam's freshman year at college, and she's kind of working through that. So I have no idea if this one fully fits the prompt, but I want to get people hyped about this book because it seems like it's going to possibly be super fabulous. I guess let's keep going. I don't know. This video seems like it could be a reasonable length. School is number 1, and then, why do I keep picking them in the same color? Wholesome. Wholesome and School. I'm reading a book right now that kind of fits this. I can't tell you if this is going to apply for the rest of the book, but Radio Silence currently right now is both very oriented in school and is super wholesome. Like, there are elements of it that aren't, but it is about this girl and this guy who meet, and they don't fall in love, they just become like bros for life, just instant best friends, and it is filling me with a level of joy I can't even possibly describe. It's so good, and it's so sweet, and it accurately gets like the angst of school and working towards your future, and also finally finding like this person that you vibe with really, really well. So Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. Do recommend. Wholesome and School. Apply. Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee is pretty wholesome, and a bunch of it takes place at school. Jess is currently attending school. Jess's parents are basically her town's biggest superheroes, and then Jessica like doesn't have powers, so she gets this internship and finds out that she's working for the town's supervillains. It is ridiculously wholesome and a ton of fun, but also is eventually about like facing the grand injustices of the world. So like, it's wholesome and it's great, but it also gets into bigger issues, and it's a whole series about queer superpowered teens saving the world, and I'm into it. So Not Your Sidekick works, but like Not Your Villain is the sequel, and that also has some school elements and is also pretty wholesome. So yeah, good book. Let's get into a real uneven 7. Let's finish it off with one more. I printed out all of these, like I wrote them all down. I want to use them all. So the first word we have is sad. Ooh, kind of a rough start. And the second word that we're going to use is action. Sad action. You know who excels at sad action is Victoria Schwab. The lady can write a really intense book that also just makes you go, oh, I'm so upset. Like, I don't have my copy with me, but Vicious by V.E. Schwab is a pretty good example of this, that the whole time you're like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Everyone's moving, I gotta know what happens, but also every individual character is deeply heartbreaking. Vicious is about 2 guys who met in college, Victor and Eli, and they discover that the key to superpowers is near-death experiences. So it starts then and then picks up 10 years later, right after Victor has gotten out of prison and has a vendetta against Eli and is determined to destroy him. Really good heartbreaking book. Great superpowers. If you're looking for that Magneto Professor X tension, all there. I would also argue that A Darker Shade of Magic. Yeah, this series is also for sure sad and full of action. This one is about parallel worlds and magic and is one of my favorite series of all time. I absolutely adore these books, so you've probably heard me talk about them before. You know, I almost missed one, and it's sitting right behind me. I think that The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas definitely has both the sad and the action elements. I mean, the whole book is a call to action and is a moment of the main character Star determining if she will be active and make this really difficult decision. The Hate U Give, as you probably know, since it's been at the top of the New York Times bestseller list for over a year, but it is about a girl named Star who witnesses one of her childhood friends being shot and killed by a police officer. It is an incredibly difficult book to get through. It's sad, it's hard, it's relevant, but it also has these moments of really intense action where you can't help but flip through the page, and it is about a girl calling a group of people to action and a book that's calling people to action. So I mean, I never pass up a time to try to recommend The Hate U Give, but for these 2 words, and for this period of time when we, I think, as a country are kind of sad, but are also looking for that call to action, it's just a perfect book. I think that is where I'm going to wrap up this video. It actually turned out a lot easier than I was anticipating. I was very worried writing down some of these words going, what's gonna happen if I get these 2 together? I'm never gonna be able to come up with a book. But It was okay. What did you think about this recommendations video? Did you like my picks for certain books and certain words? Are there any words that I pulled out that you immediately thought of a book? What was that book? Let me know any of these things down in the comments below, and let me know if this is a video that you would be interested in me doing again. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!